So 6 months ago, the building owner was trying to figure out what to do with this space. And in this market where there's 20% plus vacancy rate, he read an article in the New York Times about these incubators and young startups and the opportunity there. And about that time, I ran into these guys and said, well, I think that's a good idea, and you should let us, Transmedia Capital, help you do that. So we.
And how long had the building been vacant?
This space this first floor has been vacant for 3 years.
And how long has Transmedia Capital been around?
We've been around for 2 years. Yeah. Seed capital startup funding operation. So for the last 4 months, we've been pulling together all the details, getting all the logistics together, and creating the plan to turn this into a little startup accelerator and bring in young, high potential companies, basically do equity deals with them, to be in a vibrant environment and ecosystem with smart people who have created companies before, resources for the startups, a great space, as you can see here, with plenty of room, and help these companies become successes.
So the plan not only is to give them a great space, but also to give them, as Michael said, we've got a really good group of advisors that are in and around the company, people that have been, successful entrepreneurs before, CEOs and so forth. We've got about 30 of them now.
Yeah.
So they'll be contributing to this. We also have aligned a lot of value-added services. So whether they need banking or legal or marketing or PR, there's companies that we have associated with that we can suggest.
Yeah.
So it's a way for us, if it's a new entrepreneur, they have not only the advisory assistance, but also the value-added services. And then, as Michael said, the space is great. We're planning on having a lot of events here too. So events that are really associated with startups, whether it's meetups, pitches,
Developer groups.
Yes, a lot of educational stuff.
Yeah.
That we're dedicating part of the space so it can accommodate those type of events.
When do you open for business?
Well, we're going to be, some
Officially
companies are,
April 28th.
Yeah, April 28th is our open house. Some companies will be in before that. And we're making our official announcement the Monday before.
April 25th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the story with the slide?
The slide is a crucial component.
It has a soft landing.
Well, it's part of
Just
the
barely.
initiation, so every company has to go down through this thing.
Exactly. It's more of a
The
metaphorical.
funding is at the bottom of the slide.
Exactly. It's like a metaphorical journey that you have to go through, the catharsis.
But you didn't
from
install
starting
that.
to- No. Somebody put that in before us. So.
Unknown?
We
We need a research report on this slide.
Maybe you should do a special report on the slide, but we didn't put it in. But the big difference between this space and what we're doing here and other kind of incubator facilities.
Yeah, I mean, Script has a zip line. And that's a zip line
Oh, they
slide.
do? Well, we can
Yeah.
actually put a zip line here too. We
Yeah,
could say,
maybe.
I'm going to be on stage, I'm going to take the zip line and just parachute in.
That would be
may
fantastic for
do that.
events and,
would be.
and
Would be.
dance parties.
Yeah, true.
There is a disco ball in one of the back rooms, but one of the big differences here is that companies are selected. We basically get a handful of companies that are going to be coming to us, talking to us, and we're going to take those that we think have the highest likelihood of success. We don't have room for hundreds of companies, so we select those companies that come in. We're striking an equity deal. They're not paying for rent here. They're getting all the value add. They're getting basically inheriting an advisory board, which are all these people who are associated with the space. And hopefully being a part of this vibrant ecosystem that creates a higher likelihood for success.
Is there any kind of term on that, or is it until they
It's
grow?
initial 6-month terms.
6 months.
So
Okay.
we'll take them on for 6 months. We're going to work with them. They're going to get in here and hopefully grow and do well.
And how
we'll-
early might they be?
I mean, some of these are 2-person conceptual stage, very, very early stage companies. Others have been around for a year and a half, already have, in some cases, a couple of million users, and are still, just hitting their stride and growing the company.
Yeah, so some of the incubators may be really all early stage, like these are first-time entrepreneurs. This is
Right.
going to be a mix. We'll have some first-time. Matter of fact, one of the companies, he's a third-time serial entrepreneur with 2 successful exits. So it's really a combination of both.
What do you
Yeah.
expect the companies to have in common?
Well, I think that,
Fire
we're-
in the belly.
Yeah. Well, as far as domain, I mean, they're going to be in and around online media. I mean, that's our expertise. So it's social media apps, gaming apps, iPhone apps, those type of things. We're not going to be a biotech incubator. We're not going to be a green incubator.
It's
We're
all
really,
tech
it's
based.
really, yeah, it's really accelerate. It's really the acceleration sort of profile.
Yeah.
And why should they come to you guys instead of the a surprising number of new incubators that we're seeing out there.
Well, there's incubators and there's accelerators. And some of those incubators have like a college curriculum. You go in and you go
Right.
to class from
Like
9 to
YC.
5. And I think that's a good kind of program for first-time entrepreneurs. Many of the folks that we're dealing with here have started companies before. They've had successes. They've had exits. And so a strong, supportive environment is a big deal, is really valuable and important, and an environment that has a lot of smart people associated with it. But they don't need a curriculum. They don't need classes on a daily basis. So that's really the big difference between what we're doing and what I would call proper incubators. We're more
Right.
of an accelerator.
But it seems to me that there's quite a bit of competition around early stage investing right now. What's the edge that you guys have?
Well, I mean, there is a lot of focus on that. Obviously, starting a company today is different than 10 years ago. It requires less capital, and there are a lot of platforms, whether it's a Facebook platform or building on Twitter. So a lot of small companies can evolve and grow very quickly. I mean, frankly, that's why we started Transmedia, because our focus is really early stage, two guys in a garage or their apartment, and that's the stage we really want to get
Yeah.
engaged with them.
And
So
there's more people chasing those opportunities because, frankly, there are more opportunities. There's more exits occurring. They're happening at an early stage. A $10 million exit on a company that only raised $400,000 to get started is still a great exit. And we think the trend is going to continue to get more micro in that kind of process, meaning you can build a company quickly on the cheap with fewer people. You can actually get to scale on fewer dollars. And you can get to a point where there's a reasonable exit that occurs as larger entrenched companies start to outsource their R&D function by buying young, innovative companies. So we think that's a trend that's only going to accelerate.